In 2006, Roger Ingalls was the commissioner of the Great Lakes Summer Collegiate League. He was instrumental in securing the franchises. Ingalls was able to expand the league in his time of being commissioner. There were originally only 6 teams in the league, but Ingalls spread it to 12 teams. He also went from having teams only from Ohio to now 4 different states: Michigan, Indiana, Pennsylvania, and Ohio.
All the franchises operated differently. What we liked about what Southern Ohio was going to do is they were going to operate it like a minor league baseball program, which a lot of leagues like the Northwoods have modeled after that.
Ingalls says the best part about having the Great Lakes Summer Collegiate League is,
well, it gives young men an opportunity to go out and play baseball with wooden bats, which is something they don't get to do at the college level. It's much better for professional scouts to evaluate them.
Stas Swerdsky took the head coach position during this season. Swerdsky was from Winthrop University. He brought the team to their first winning record after they were at the lowest point in Copperheads history during the 2005 season. Swerdsky brought in a talented group of players and coaches as well. The Copperheads also made a league playoff appearance in 2006 after they had a record of 21-19.
Well, it's such a tough league to win in to begin with. Having coached in it, having, like I say, served as commissioner and president of the league, I can tell you that you can have an extremely talented baseball team with a lot of great players and still be a 500 team in this league. I mean, it's just, it's the equivalent of playing, Class A, Double-A baseball.
In the 2006 MLB draft, 5 Copperheads were selected, one of them being Anthony Grisick, who was drafted in the 26th round by the Cincinnati Reds. Another player was Dan Fall, who was also drafted that year by the Washington Nationals in the 27th round. Rob Harmon and Victor Alvarez both got selected in the 33rd round by the Seattle Mariners and Pittsburgh Pirates respectively. And lastly, Paul Bennett signed by the Atlanta Braves organization.
Have a league like this, not only do the players get developed, but young coaches get developed. I did that. I coached the Lima Locos. I coached the Columbus All-Americans. And getting a chance to coach kids from all these different programs in the summer really makes you grow as a head coach and helps you improve.
The support from the Athens community is something that will never change for the Copperheads atmosphere. The people and fans are really passionate and know their baseball.
I mean, we all know that Southern Ohio in Athens, Ohio, isn't the most active place in the summer. And when all the kids leave and disperse, you still have summer school going on. But for the community, it gave the community of Athens a chance to really rally around something that was theirs. It wasn't Ohio University's, it was Southern Ohio Copperheads. It was their program.
The 2007 Copperheads were even better than the 2006 Copperheads. This squad was led by Mike Deegan, a coach from Marietta College. The team finished at 6th place out of 11 teams with a record of 23-15.
So, that roster, looking back, Tony Campana got to the big leagues. I think there was probably 6 or 7 guys drafted off that team as well. So there was really, really good talent. You mix that with a really good organization, which you're a part of now, and it allowed just for a really fun season, good attendance, and we played pretty good baseball throughout the summer as well.
John Carr and Chuck Boring were 2 players who paced the Copperheads as pitchers. Outfielder Matt Stifler led the team in hitting for the 3rd year in a row. He is also an OU alumni. Coach Deegan speaks a bit on the impact Matt Stifler had during this season.
Yeah, Matt was, he was a really talented hitter, just a very gifted hitter. Not a big guy, but just had a really strong skill set. Matt was a little bit older, so he had a maturity about him that was a little bit above the league, like meaning he had a presence and he had a very professional type approach to the way he handled his business.
The Cheads advanced to the Great Lakes Summer Collegiate League semifinals that year. Won the first 2 games against the Lima Locos and the Cincinnati Steam. However, they lost in the semifinals. Coach Deegan claims to still lose sleep over the loss of this game. The team was in the lead 8-1 with their strong closer, Chuck Boring.
We had played a lot, it was a tournament format. I think we played it earlier that day as well. So we tried to get some guys just to get a little break going into the next day. Also, the human side of it, managing, you want to get some guys on the field as well. Like there were some guys we wanted to get out there, and it wasn't anyone's fault. It was just baseball. Like we gave up hits. I mean, like it went hit. Baseball is a cruel game at times. And I got to experience the cruelness of it on that particular evening.
At the end of the season, on July 31st, 2007, several Copperheads were chosen for awards at the GLSCL banquet. Tony Campana led the league with 24 stolen bases while hitting a .349 on the season. Campana was drafted by the Chicago Cubs in the 13th round of the 2008 draft. He ended up reaching the big leagues and played for the Cubs, Arizona Diamondbacks, and Los Angeles Angels. Chuck Boring was recognized for being the go-to closer. Boring led the Cheads with a .54 ERA. Along with the players being awarded at this banquet, head coach Mike Deacon was named Joe Carbone Manager of the Year. Deacon led the Cheads to the most wins in history with 23 and led them into the playoffs.
For me, I think it was just getting out of that comfort zone of, like for me at that time it had been recruiting or whatever. But now I had to recruit, I had to coach, I had to lead, I had to bring people together, I had to talk to the media, had to do all those things. So it just made for some really good conversations as I moved forward in my career.
This was a special summer and one Coach Deacon has always and will always carry with him.
All these kids from over the country come in and you have to try to build a team and bring them together. And so having that in your toolbox to discuss, those are life experiences that you don't get if you play it safe and small and stay in your bubbles. If you get an opportunity, go play there, go coach there, go be a part of that organization.
In 2008, Shawnee State University head coach Ted Tom led the Copperheads along with two assistants, Andrew Engenbrenston and Chris Moore. Coach Tom was transitioned from playing college baseball at Shawnee to then coaching. He was thrilled to accept this position, being a small-town guy from Lancaster, Ohio.
So 2008 was my first season as the head coach at Shawnee State, my alma mater, and Chris was my assistant during my time there, and it was a perfect fit for us. And having him and the familiarity with the two of us seemed like a good fit.
This year, the Copperheads were led by star outfielder Jake Gobert from Northwestern University. The Copperheads helped Gobert meet new people and develop not only as a person, but also as a player. Gobert has special memories of the bus rides with his teammates, the All-Star game, and feeling so welcomed at all of these facilities, especially coming out as a freshman to play for the Copperheads.
Overall, the community was very welcoming. I had no idea what to expect going to Athens, but it's a very neat town, very unique town.
Gobert was later drafted in the 13th round by the Houston Astros in 2009.
Drafted by the Astros was something very special. I was drafted with J.D. Martinez. I played with Jose Altuve, Dallas Keuchel, some of the premier players in our league.
Talking about some of those guys, and Jake's at the top of the list, and he's a very talented young guy at the time, but his attention to detail was quite a bit different than everybody else. He was a really bright kid, obviously with the Northwestern education, and his ability to, just raise the bar, and quite frankly, raise the bar for others around him.
When Coach Tom found out Gobert was going to the major leagues, he was super excited for him, and he got to see him chase down his dream and officially land that opportunity. The Copperheads started the season strong, but encountered a 7-game losing streak in early July. The Copperheads then rebounded later in that month for a 7-game winning streak to get back into the playoff race.
I think we won like 7 or 8 in a row to get back to 500, and then we had like 10 games to finish off the season in 7 days, and, a Friday night game at home in front of 1,300 people or 1,800 people, and the hometown crowd is so awesome.
The Cheads needed to win the tiebreaker, but fell short against Lake Erie. The Copperheads were battling some injuries this summer, and in this game, Coach Tom was ejected where he had to remain on the bus for the rest of the game. This was not the way they wanted to go out.
Getting ejected and having to sit out the last of the game of the year is not going to work. It's not the atmosphere that you want to create to where I get to write the lineup card out and say, go get them, boys. Like, I needed to be in the dugout with them fighting for that playoff spot, and sitting on the bus wasn't exactly what needed to happen. But, that's a good learning experience for us all. And, our guys played really hard.
Ted Tom is very grateful for his experience coaching with the Cheads in the summer of 2008 and always will be.
I think this is the best part about coaching in the summer is you have a lot of younger guys from a variety of different places, going out, experiencing a different region of the country, a different environment. There's a bunch of folks that maybe have never been to Ohio, but just being able to get out in the community, and there's a couple other community type events that we're a part of, and the fan support at the games, and they're the people in the Athens area are great baseball fans.
Looking to the future of baseball after the COVID-19 pandemic, Ted Tom leaves us with some final words of advice.
Whether there's people in the seats or not, you get to watch somebody's heroes play the game they love at the highest level, and I think that's really important. So I think moving forward with the game, and none of us really grasped the magnitude of what was happening. So I think moving forward, just not taking any of the days that we get for granted, and making the most of each opportunity.